I love it. This the off season, and the off season is long, and there are tons of mock drafts that's out there that make sense. And then there are mock drafts to kind of like fix the lane way on how the Cowboys should approach the contract situation with Dak Prescott and how they could solidify everything within 1 year, basically. And even though they can still utilize the bridge aspect of Dak Prescott playing this year out, and then as well as, of course, my guy, Trey Lance is in the mix too. This is a contract year for him, by the way. So the Cowboys going to have to finagle and finesse that whole process out. But neither here nor there. There's a mock draft that I've looked at from, I want to say this mock draft comes from Pro Football Focus. And they got in the first round the Cowboys going with Michael Penix Jr., the quarterback from Washington. Now, I don't know if he's going to fall to the 24th spot. He got some raw areas. He is one of the older quarterbacks out of this draft. I think he's right below Bo Nix, but neither here nor there. If he falls to the 24th spot, they got him going to the Cowboys, and that could be a tangible thing now. Also, in the second round, we need interior help. We need core help, whether it's on the defensive side or on the offensive side. But they got us going with Zach Frazier, the center from West Virginia, in the second round. That's the 56th pick. Now, here's how I look at the offensive line grouping. Offensive lines tend to dry up real quickly after the first round. I mean, that's just how it goes. It nosedives. Now, every now and then, you may see a team grab a legitimate starter in the third or fourth or fifth. But normally, the rule of thumb is you try to get those guys way before everything else kind of settles in. So you got to look at it from that aspect. So Zach Frazier, if you look at his tape, he is strong. He is a power get-off guy. I think he will fit right in within the confines of this system. In the third round, with pick 87. Now, this could be a very much so reach. I don't see Payton Wilson dropping all the way to the third round, but they got him dropping to the third round in this simulator. So that is the situation that the Cowboys, it could benefit from Payton Wilson in the third round with the 87th pick from NC State. So I'm not thinking that he would fall that far, but it could be possibilities, man, if we're talking about measures of possibilities here. And then we get because we have no fourth round draft pick, and we got the fifth round pick, Isaac Guerendo. I think that kid, he's like a 4.3 guy or 4.4 guy. He's really fast. If you look at his tape, he absolutely looked fast on tape as well. So he tests out great. He's not the best blocker in the backfield, but he is a guy that you can utilize and use as a guy literally you could throw swing passes to. I've seen a run in between the splits here. He can catch it on the backfield and then get upfield. He will be perfect in this particular system, and he's not lack of speed, by the way. And then if you think of it, you talking about a guy that you can very, very much so use and utilize within the confines of this system in a great, proper way. All right, so in the sixth round, the Cowboys go with Prince Payne, guard from Tulane. Now, double dipping at offensive line is not a problem at all. I think that the Cowboys may go with either 10 or 11 offensive line. Offensive line for your mind is a very, very, very crucial spot. You got to keep things upright. If you're going to run the ball, you got to start with up front. If you're going to protect your quarterback, you got to start with everything up front. And that is the situation. And in the later round, which is very much so, kind of sort of like a Cowboys move to identify the interior in the later round opposed to the earlier rounds here. They have Jaden Crumedy, my God, defensive tackle, Mississippi State. Y'all know I like my Mississippi boys. Plug him down inside. We are razor blade thin. We are razor blade thin. We are flat out razor blade thin at defensive tackle. Mozzie, reports saying that he's out 4 to 6 months. I get it. They said, well, that's counting back from February or January, and the 4 to 6 months will put him right on time. Well, you got the recovery stages, and then you got techniques and skill sets that he got to learn. I talked to a trainer that's here in Dallas. He said, hey, he got to work on head, shoulders, knees, and toes. He got to work on a whole bunch of things: eyes and ears and mouth and nose, head, shoulders, knees, and toes. but neither here nor there with Mozzie. We need help at that. And the only way that I think that the Cowboys will go with this is identify this issue in the draft, and they draft a guy. But also, Carl Davis, I get it. He plays with a little pad level just a little bit too high. He got good get off, but his feet and sometimes hand placement is kind of weird. But he got strong hands for his size. For 330, well, he's supposed to have strong hands, but he's a journeyman. He's been bounced around to team. I think he got to get those pad levels low and got to work on, some of his feet work. But that's a whole nother conversation. And then that is that particular mock draft there.